Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dependent Fanatic channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Michigan football coaching staff. I'm going to give you what position they coach, the name of the coach, the year they were hired, and I'm going to give you some notes on each. But remember to stay tuned to the end for a breakdown of the special teams. I promised you that in a previous video. And speaking of previous videos, if you're wondering about the offensive roster and depth chart, I have a video on that, and I have a video on the defensive depth chart. So go watch those after this, and I'm just going to start with Jim Harbaugh. Y'all know his previous accolades, 3 straight NFC championships, and lost to his brother in the Super Bowl. His record at Michigan, though, is 61-24. He has 4 10-win seasons here at Michigan, and he was Big Ten champs last season, going 12-2, losing to the buzzsaw that was Georgia. And we'll just continue on here. He has promoted 2 new offensive coordinators. They will be co-offensive coordinators this season. Sharon Moore was hired in 2018, and Matt Weiss was hired in 2021. So before last season, he was hired. He was quarterback coach, and now he is co-offensive coordinator. And Harbaugh also elected to do co-defensive coordinators. Now, one of these did not have any experience as well as coordinating, and that was Steve Clinkscale. But Jesse Minter, who was hired this season, does have experience coordinating. He did it at Indiana State, Georgia State, and Vanderbilt. Yes, lower levels, but he was at Baltimore with Jim's brother from 2017 to 2020. So apparently he thinks, he's a good coordinator. So we'll see what happens. But there you go. There's the coordinators. We're going to go down to the quarterback coach, Matt Weiss. And he was hired before last season. And he was previously with Baltimore as well from 2009 to 2020. So he has worked his way up through Jim Harbaugh's brother's NFL system. And he is here working with the quarterbacks. Running back coach Mike Hart, he was hired before last season as well, and had a huge impact on Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins. Breakout years. He coached the same position previously at Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, Syracuse, Indiana, and now at Michigan. All right, and it was only a matter of time before Mike Hart arrived at Michigan. He bleeds maize and blue. He's the one that stirred up the little brother, and now they are pretty fierce because of that, but not because of that, because of D'Antonio and now Tucker. But you guys all know the history there. Tight end coach, also Michigan grad, was a grad assistant for the offensive line the past 2 seasons. Now he will be coaching the tight ends. All right, and the offensive line coach, Sharon Moore, it's his 2nd year as the offensive line coach, as well as co-offensive coordinator this season. He's going to be pulling double duty, and his line last year won the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in the nation. Wide receiver coach, Ron Bellamy. He was safeties coach last season. Now he's on the opposite side, receivers. But he, previously to being hired before last season, he was head coach at West Bloomfield, where he churned out a lot of talent. He produced a lot of 5 stars, 4 stars, etc. throughout his tenure there good coach. Mike Elston, we stole from Notre Dame after Brian Kelly departed. He was hired before this season. Defensive line coach for Notre Dame from 2010 to 2021. And you know all about Notre Dame and how good their defensive line was. We'll see if he can keep the defensive line. It's hard to keep the defensive line the same as last season, but this year Michigan has defensive tackles and nose tackles, and we haven't had that. Don Brown did not. He was more skinny up the middle and blitz with the outside and all that, and he really had a hard time recruiting big bodies up front, and hopefully Mike Elston can do just that and develop these players. Linebacker coach will be George Hilo, and it's his second year doing that here. Going into his second year, was a linebacker and special teams coach at Maryland before he was hired here, and I think he was there for quite a while, like 4 years or something, building up, and he finally was special teams coordinator, and he did pretty good at that. But now he's at linebacker coach here at Michigan. Steve Clinkscale was previously a defensive back coach for Kentucky from 2016 to 2020. And he did pretty good last year. And Jay Harbaugh. And also he is going to be co-defensive coordinator, Steve Clinkscale. I guess he's the defensive passing game coordinator. There's so many different terminologies that Coach Harbaugh and the University of Michigan uses for positions, titles and whatnot. But Jay Harbaugh was hired in the same year that his dad, Jim Harbaugh, was hired in. He has previously coached throughout that time tight ends and running backs. Now he's on to safeties. And he has had a huge part in the special teams throughout the years. All right, and he gets to coach these two guys down at the bottom. Okay, here's what you've been waiting for. Maybe. I hope you guys enjoyed the coaching breakdown. But Jake Moody is back at kicker. He's a senior, and I'm just going to show you some of his accomplishments and awards. He had 23 of 25 field goals made in a long of 52. He was 56 of 56 with point after attempts, which is the extra points. He had 56 touchbacks out of 98 kickoffs. So that's pretty good. Keep him down there. He was all Big Ten first team. He was the Big Ten Kicker of the Year, consensus All-American, and he won the Lou Groza Award for the best kicker in the nation. So he's back. And then we have Brad Robbins, another senior at punter, and he had 45 punts last year. That's all. We were pretty good. For 2,085 yards, which is a 46.3 yard per average attempt. He had 21 forced fair catches. 17 of those were inside of the 20, and 12 of those were 50 yards or longer when he punted it. Ray Guy Award semifinalist last season. So there you guys have it. Remember to like the video. If you do, share with others, subscribe, and comment down below. And we'll see you next time. Thank you all, and have a great day.